Hey there, Jeremy.
Hi.
I'm Hannah. I'm going to be helping you out with your bike today.
Awesome.
So I'm going to do a little bit of a measuring, get some of your dimensions for what bike might suit you best. Before we start, can I ask you a couple questions about your biking habits?
Absolutely.
So what kind of bike are you looking for? Something more for city, around town biking, errands, or more mountain biking in the woods, or somewhere in between?
Kind of somewhere in between.
So more of like a hybrid.
Yeah, something
Okay.
I can ride on the street and kind of on trails.
Okay. And how many miles would you say on average you're putting on the bike? A week?
Maybe 20 miles a week.
So a decent amount, but you're not, going super long distances.
No.
Okay. So we're going to be measuring a couple things today. Some of your regular dimensions, measurements, and then I'm also going to be testing you for some custom fit handlebars, see what your grip is like.
Perfect.
And doing some flexibility stuff as well. Okay?
Cool.
If you have any questions along the way, just let me know. So I'm just going to start out and have you get your height. So go ahead and stand right up against that for me. Yep, nice and tall. Look up. Okay. Thanks. You can step out of there. So I've got 70 inches. Okay. Next thing I'm going to have you do is just get a bit of a measurement of just the shoulder height and then the hip height. So I'm going to have you step back here and I'm just going to measure a couple of different parts. So starting with your shoulder heights here. I'm going to get the other side. Okay, and that's equal 57 inches. And just stay right there. I'm going to just get your hip height as well. Can you go ahead and put your hands on where your hips start right here? Is that where your hips are right there? Okay, perfect. So check the other side. Okay, good. And just stick right there. I'm going to do one last for your knees. Okay. That's just about 23 inches. Excellent. So now I'm going to go ahead and measure your arm length. So you can go ahead and just turn this way. I'm going to have you hold on to this. Hold on to this portion while I'm pulling this out. So we're getting full extension, full flexion. Okay, and same thing on the other side. Go ahead and hold that with your hand. Full extension, full flexion. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get across your shoulders here. It's definitely important for handlebars. Okay, good. And I'm just going to go ahead and get a chest height. So hold this right at your navel. Okay, just going to write that down. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is just get the length from the foot to the knee and even out your hips. Okay, good. And that's just measuring from the bottom of your heel to your knee. And then just check the other side. And are these the shoes you normally wear for biking?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, okay. Do your shoes normally have with a bit of a lift, or are they mostly flat? Like a Converse would be like a super flat shoe. A sneaker would have a little bit more of a lift.
They usually have a little bit more of a lift.
Like this one?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm just going to take the measurement of the bottom of this shoe just to be sure.
For sure.
It's about an inch and a half. Okay. So next thing I'm going to have you do is, could you come down to your knees like this? I'm going to have you hold this right on your inner thigh, right in here, and I'm going to have you pull down. Okay, and the other side. Great, so that's just getting from your knee up to your hips. Go ahead and stand up now, thank you. So if you could go ahead and pick up your leg like this, you can go ahead and hold on to that if you need it. I'm just going to measure the angle of that. And can you sort of make a circular motion with your leg as if you were biking? Yes, perfect. And just checking out that range of motion there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. That was great. So same thing, and if you want to hold on to that right there, you can go ahead and pick this leg up. Just checking out the angle. Okay, that's really good. So the last thing I'm going to do before I have you actually get on the bike is just measure out your handlebars. And I'm going to go ahead and mark that. So go ahead and hold on to this for me. And I'm looking to just see your grip. I'm just going to make a couple of marks where your hands naturally fall. Keep in mind, it's not, you can let go on one side, it's not where you'd be, it's just where your hand itself lies. So hold on to this side where you're comfortable. So it would start here. Inner finger here, and the thumb falls right there. Okay, and on this side, you can go ahead and lift that hand up. So I've got outer, inner, underneath for the thumb. Okay. And how does this feel as far as grip? Does that feel like too wide of a grip, or do you need too small of a grip?
It's a little wide. A
little wide, okay. I'm going to bring in one of our sample bikes. It's a little bit smaller, and just have you test that out, okay?
For sure.
So if you want to come around to this side, I'll switch with you here. I'm going to hold the handlebars. How does that feel to you?
That feels okay.
Let me just go ahead and measure your hands really quickly. Just make sure I've got the full palm length. So you can come back over this here. I'm just going to pull this bike out of the way. And can you just stick out your hands for me? Okay. I'm just getting a palm width and palm length on each side. Thank you. Just gonna write that down. I'm just gonna check some of the flexibility in your hands. So just go nice and loose. Is that as far as up as you can go?
Yeah.
Okay. And then make a fist as if you're gripping. And lay it nice and loose. I'm just gonna move up and down. Okay, so good flexibility in the wrist there. Up and then down. Can you make a fist? Up and down. Okay, good for that. Okay, so good flexibility in your wrists. I'm not worried about the handles at all. I'm not needing any sort of special equipment there. If you could just turn around for me, I'm just gonna check for the symmetry of your body. I'm just gonna use a level. Checking from shoulder to shoulder. So the right shoulder is just a tiny bit lower than the left. And go ahead and check the hip height. Same thing, just a tiny bit lower on this side. And go ahead and bend over for me. I'm just looking for flexibility, range of motion. Go ahead and stand back up. Any pain with leaning over?
No.
Okay, we would adjust for that in the bike. If you'd be having some pain reaching over, we'd have the seat a little bit higher so you had more of that flat back. All right, you can go ahead and turn around for me. Last thing I'm going to have you do is just do a couple of cycles on the bike. I'm going to go ahead and hold it. I'm just going to watch your knee movement. So go ahead and hop on. I'm going to hold the front. I'm just going to have you pedal backwards a couple of times just to get a sense of your knee movement. Okay, very good. Thank you so much. I think I have enough information to go ahead and do a mock-up for you, and we'll make sure that you test it out on one of our in-house bikes before we do a special order.
Perfect.
You excited to start biking?
Very excited.
All right. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.